Happy New Year, BookTube! It is 2020, and my first video of the year will be my Christmas haul. We went to visit my sister. I think I already told you guys this in my last video, but we went to go visit my sister the first few days of January, so I decided to wait until then to show you guys what I got for Christmas this year. And I didn't get a lot of books. But I still got books, of course. So let's get started. Okay, so I don't know what I'm gonna start with. This is really there's no organization. I'm just gonna pick up and, I'll try to be organized with this by going by who got me what, but, okay, well first, I'm going to show you, this is something that my dad's coworker, I guess in a way it was a Christmas gift, but my dad's coworker, he's a nice guy, we refer to him as Uncle Paul, and he's a bit eccentric. He likes shopping at thrift stores, which you can find some nice stuff there. I know that a lot of people might have low opinions of thrift stores because it's basically stuff that people don't. A lot of times it has stuff that people don't want anymore. But sometimes some of the stuff he gets us some of the stuff there is really nice and sometimes even rare, like old collectibles. So, like I said, this isn't any Christmas gift because whenever we go back up there to visit my sister, if my dad will try to have lunch with him, and a lot of times he will have stuff. He'll give myself, my mom, and my sister and her husband some things. So he actually had this lacquer box, which this is really cool. I'm trying to think I think it's a Russian concept. These special boxes where you can keep things in them, like jewelry or something, or little treasures. And they have these beautiful hand-painted designs on them. And a lot of them have stories on them as well. Hand-painted, kind of like how comic books, they're basically stories written with, with pictures and very little words. And that's what lacquer boxes are. They have pictures, hand-painted pictures with these really fine-tipped paintbrushes. And they will basically paint out, they'll put fairy tales on there. This one is just these beautiful flowers. And the reason why this top won't close is because he also got me this nice bracelet. It's kind of cool. So I think I'll probably put this on my, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I'll figure out where there's two places I probably can put it. Very similar where my mom would put hers. So I wanted to show you that first. Because I don't think it would be considered a Christmas gift per se. Okay, so, let's see. Well, let me go ahead and show you. So, this is kind of my first year, well, except for, last year I did get something that was Harry Potter related. From my cousin Will. He got me these pajama pants, Harry Potter pajama pants. And I probably showed you those to you guys last year, but other than that, I've never really gotten any Harry Potter related stuff before. And, in last year, I tried to, include, my Hogwarts, stuff that had to do with my Hogwarts house. I guess probably because people didn't know what I meant by that. And I think because I didn't specifically point out things, so people didn't know exactly what I meant by that, even though they know I like Harry Potter. First I'll go ahead and show you this. This was from my mom. It's my Hogwarts house t-shirt. It kind of reminds me of those sports t-shirts for the sports baseball teams, like a Nationals t-shirt, or like a the Braves t-shirt or something, which makes sense because, they do play sport. Each house has, their own Quidditch team, so. Next thing I show you this thing. This is from my mom and dad. First, let me start with these. So, this was really cool. What my mom found on the internet was this box, this magic box kind of thing that is full of all these little Harry Potter related trinkets. Magic Affinity Box, I think it's called. And I did look it up just to see if maybe there was other fandoms like Lord of the Rings or, like Percy Jackson or like Rick Riordan's books, like his mythology world he's created. But so far there's only a Harry Potter version. But I really think you could do that for all these other like fantasy fandoms. But it's kind of like how with subscription boxes where they will have things like prints, necklaces, patches, candles, bookmarks, all that kind of stuff. Although this does not have candles or candles or I don't even think there's no bookmark or it doesn't have like prints or anything like that. But here's some things it does have. So it has these magnets, which now it's funny because I'm a Ravenclaw. And Ravenclaws are like some of their traits are wit and wisdom, and I did not realize that this bird was supposed to be a raven, I guess. Like for a Ravenclaw, although the symbol for Ravenclaw is not a raven. It's the eagle, or the eagle. But I guess they figure, the person who created this probably is like, Ravenclaws are ravens. But I did not. These are magnets. We don't put magnets on our fridge downstairs, but I do. My mom had bought me a small whiteboard that I was going to use for like putting ideas and stuff on, because my sister had suggested, if I was having trouble writing, which I have a lot of trouble on my writing books and stuff, then I can use a whiteboard to put sticky notes of, it's raining, notes of ideas and stuff. And I have started that a little bit, like I have 4 sticky notes on there with scenes and stuff, but I haven't used it that much. But my mom suggests I could put these on there, these magnets on that. And as you can see, they're really small, so they don't take up as much space. The Hufflepuff, I can't remember what their animal, it's like a badger or something, I don't remember what their animal is. Then the lion for Gryffindor, and then a snake for Slytherin. And then they have this little magnet owl, like the Hedwig one. See, I'm not going to show you all of these because then I have to go through and that will take too long. Let's see if you can. So here's the box. These little boxes, and sorry, it's hard for me I can't show you all of it because, here it has things like notepads in there, all these cool little trinkets and stuff. I'm only going to show you the ones that I can get to. This will hang on my tree, although I will probably keep this up all year, not just hang on my tree, but I'll hang it somewhere in my room. Harry, and then there's, I can find it, there's a Hermione one in here somewhere. That's a notepad. I already showed you that. These pins. This is the Harry Potter one. And there's a lot of Hermione Harry Potter stuff in here. So I would like to show you all of it, but it would take too long, and the way the box is set up, but it's really cool. And like there's eyeglasses cleaner in there. There's a Hermione one, like that Harry Potter ornament, plush ornament thing. There's, just leave it there for now. There's, what else is there in there? Just a lot of cute little trinkets and stuff. It's a really cool one. I'm glad that finally starting to get Harry Potter related stuff. I also got this from this is a Santa gift because I personally when I'm taking a shower, oftentimes I like using shower gel because you can get a lot more out of shower gel than just soap. And sometimes when the soap starts to get small when you use a lot of it the past several weeks or whatever, then it's going to be hard to get as much soap to really clean your body, so it's kind of my backup. So yeah, I just wanted. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you another Santa gift. Now this is kind of a funny story with this one because my mom and I went to Tuesday mornings, which is kind of a like Michael's a little bit, but it sells like home goods stuff. Like Michael's meets Best Buy meets Home Goods, something like that, where it sells a lot of stuff like meets the dollar store. Or it sells a lot of random stuff. I mean, granted, I don't think I would ever find books there, but I got my sister's throw there. You can get like stuff for your kitchen. You can get soap there. You can get like decor for your house, the little things and stuff, and cards there. I don't know. They just a bunch of random stuff. It's a cute little store. But I saw these bookmarks there, and I really like these magnetic bookmarks because they are more secure in your book. They'll stay in your book. They won't fall out because even bookmarks always fall out. Because when I'm in my purse and stuff. I think it's just 3 of these. And these bookmarks. What's nice is they'll actually stay. The only con to these is that if I decide to bring a book while we're driving and I have to get out of the car for some reason. Sometimes because they're magnets, it's hard to pull it apart, so you can mark where you stopped at with these because they're magnets, so they'll stick together. But I really like these, and I actually chose these because my sister. This was her wedding theme was peacocks. And I remember really liking that. But, so the funny part about it is that I saw them, and my mom was like, okay, which ones do you like? So I picked one out. She grabbed them, and I know that she bought them, but then they disappeared. I didn't know where they went. But then, of course, next thing I know, on Christmas morning, actually, a few days after Christmas, when we came back to our house, they were in my stocking from Santa. So I thought it was kind of funny that because I knew she bought them, but, yeah. Okay, so, next, I'll just go ahead and show you this. This was, I run for exercise around our neighborhood. It's a nice area in North Carolina, though it doesn't really have a huge winter here, but, so, I always like to get running clothes every year. I also got 2 sports bras, and let me go ahead and show you these as well, these headbands. Because now my hair is short again, so I can't pull it up in a ponytail anymore, which is worth it because I cannot manage long hair past my shoulders any longer than that. So I got headbands. Although, lately whenever I've been running, I'm always worried they're going to fall off. But there's that, and then if there's the shirt, and I probably got running pants with them, but I mean, they're just black. Maybe they might have a design on them. And this has a nice hood, because it doesn't always get that cold. I mean, we still have a wintry weather here, of course, like cold weather, but it's not terrible. Okay, so next, so let me go ahead and show you what my grandma got me. Okay, so my grandma got me, well, let me show you let me show you this before. This I also got from my parents, this nice jacket, bomber jacket, because my, for when, the first time, like, back when the first time I had my hair cut like this, I decided to, I think because it was around the time I was taking a women's history class in college, and for a semester, and I decided that year for Halloween, especially with the length of my hair, that a perfect idea would be to dress up like Amelia Earhart, and that is when I got that Amelia Earhart biography that I have recently donated to Gibbons, because I don't know if I'll ever come around to reading that. I think I did. Because I didn't know if I would ever come back to that one, so I ended up getting rid of it. But to go with the costume, my mom got me a bomber jacket. It was a fake. And of course, because it was not real leather, it tended to fall apart it was easily fell apart, so we ended up trashing it, or getting rid of it, or whatever. But my mom now remember that, got me this one. Actually, I think it's more a gift from my dad. Or at least he was the one that remembered I wanted one. So it has a nice hood. It's really nice. I really like it. I'm not saying and so there's that from my parents. Okay, now back to talking about what I got for my grandma. So first she got all of us. Actually, no, this was so we spent Christmas at my grandma's house. So we opened stockings there as well as I opened the one here at my house. This came with it. It's those head scratchers. So, although I'm more prone to complain about an itchy back than an itchy head, unless I didn't wash my hair. Like, I always feel like I have to wash my hair every night, because if I don't, then the next morning it's gonna look greasy and it's gonna be itchy. And then of course we have to do this every year. We get chocolate in there, although she didn't put chocolate in there this time. But there's chocolate usually, and then there's like those candy canes with either the Skittles or the Reese's Cups or the M&Ms or something in there. Although now my mom, Santa knows that I prefer Reese's. Reese's is my favorite candy. So there was that, and there was like an orange or like an apple or something. She always puts an orange and an apple. It's a tradition. But now, specifically what she got me is, here is a journal. I always like getting journals, but my mom is always, when I'm out shopping with her and we go to someplace like Michael's or somewhere and I look at the journals, or I go to TJ Maxx, there's that one section. She's like, do you really need that? Because I have so many journals. And I will always start them, but I never, complete them. My grandma did get me this one. I really like it. What I appreciate, I like the ones that have actual lines, because not every journal has lines in them, but this is really nice. This one, it also has, quotes and stuff in them, talking about thoughts and thinking and ideas and stuff. And then along with that, she got me these gel pens, which I guess my mom didn't realize that I already had, I had some gel pens that I got from TJ Maxx, I believe, or Michael. No, actually I got them from Michael's. That, they're still pretty good. They're still good right now. But, I mean, it's not like they're going to take it back or anything, even though my mom knows that I have them already. And this has more, I believe. Actually, no, that one might have more. I don't know. I would have to double check. But, I guess this looks like it has more. And then she gives us all cards every year with a little bit of money in it because, sometimes just giving someone a gift card or money is the easiest thing to do. And, like, that's what one of my aunts and uncles and my cousins did. They just gave me money. Which, yeah, I mean, I'm 30 years old, so, at that point, it's like, do you really need to give someone, I mean, or at least just give them only one thing? Because, I mean, it's like, I'm not a kid anymore, so, I do love when I receive gifts. Okay, so, and for my other aunt and uncle, I got this nice vest. I'm getting really into vests lately. She was actually, the only thing was, she was the one who, I think they were the ones that got me the headbands. Which, yeah, I should have wrote that down. Because I don't remember what they got me. I don't remember everything they got me. I mean, not that I have to say, like, exactly when you write thank you notes. It's not like you have to say, like, list everything that you thank them for every single thing someone got you. But, I always try to make a mental note so that I know what people... let's see what else. Like, where's that? There was something else. I think there's one other. Before I show you what my sister got me, I want to show you one. Oh, here it is. And this is what our neighbor/friends got me as well. A Amazon gift card, which I think I might upload this tonight. But I'm gonna try to wait before I buy anything from Amazon. I don't know yet. But Amazon gift card. Can't see it. I guess a gift cards, a lot of times you don't know what to get someone, just get them a gift card. I know it may seem not as personal, but I mean it allows them to pick whatever they want to get. Amazon is a good place. iTunes gift cards are always nice because, in this day and age with people downloading music and stuff. And of course someone like, and all of his readers probably love a Books A Million gift card, or if like some of those online, well, although I guess there wouldn't be, but those other bookstores and stuff like that, that's all of that. So next, of course, and, you know what, I want to try to get something to match with this thing, but, Terry, this particular gift is from her. She has been wanting to see it, so what I will do is put it on now, and she can see it on me. So I've always loved the 1920s and the fashion 20s, and it is the new 20s all over again. And Terry had this really cool idea. I think I already talked about this, but this really cool idea that this year when we go to our convention, one of our cosplays could be 20s. Particularly if you guys are familiar, her idea was actually inspired by Downton Abbey, which partly is set in the 20s, like in the beginning of the 20s. Like, most of the book, I think, is set, like, 1900s, early 1900s, like, around right before and right after World War II, but it does go into the 1920s towards the last couple seasons. So it kind of inspired her to come up with this idea of doing, like, since it's 2020, or 2020 as I prefer to say, to dress up like flappers, or like with the characters, the two of the sisters from Downton Abbey, their version of flappers, or I guess they wouldn't really have flappers. And she has been asking me to take a picture of myself in this, and I felt really bad because I had meant to take a picture of myself wearing a scarf that she got me for my birthday, but I still haven't gotten around to it yet. I mean, I've worn it, so Terry, if you're watching this, I have worn it. I just haven't found a chance to. I have not found a good chance to wear it, and I'm just not really good at. I'm not very good at selfies. But and then it comes with like something that I think is meant to help attach the scarf to keep it on your neck. But I don't know how to do it. So Terry, here is the hat. I will let you. There you go. It does not look very good right now. And of course, I know Terry, you're gonna tell me that it looks so adorable, it's so cute, or it looks great on you. But like I said, I really wanted to try on with wear it. Go ahead and wear it with something that would match it, because I think it looks better. When you wear it with something to match. I'm trying to get it there. Perfect. I'm trying to, if I'm going to wear it, I want to, obviously I'm going to wear something like either this kind of color or maybe black or something. And I did think about it a little bit, but, or like wear like a dress or something. Like I do have a sweater dress kind of thing that, is not this color, but I think it would still work. I was thinking about wearing, but I mean, my instinct is not to wear dresses, like if I'm just going to go to the Gibbons bookstore for a few hours. But here you go, Terry, here's the hat, and I know you're gonna probably say it's gonna look cute and everything, and I guess I just need to cut this. It's like, oh, it still looks cute. It's like, no, it does not. I mean, I'm sure it looks fine on me, but it looks cute on me, but I want to wear it with something that it matches. So do not be like, oh, it still looks so cute and everything, I'm gonna shut up now. So there's that from Terry, which I do love the hat. I'm trying to find something to wear with it. And then one more thing I need to get that I got from her. Give me a minute. Let's see if I can grab it without. Okay, so this was a book series that I read the first book, and I actually finished it up, I believe, this past year. Back in 2019, I finally finished it. Because books like this take me a long, long time to read. But because my book summary is kind of small, so there's no guarantee, so I don't always find the books I'm looking for. I mean, it has a really good selection, but at the same time, there are sometimes books that I don't always find. Like if it's a series, I might just find the first book or a couple books in the series. So I could not find the other books in the series. This is a 4-book series. I put it on my wish list. I had it on there last year and this year. But Terry, I love the fit. But Terry, the wonderful person that she is, she saw that these were on my highest priority. So, you want to do that? So she finally got me book 2 and book 3 of the Faithful and the Fallen series. So now I can really participate even more in that group on Goodreads that has to do with this series. This is the second book, and as you can see, I did start it. This is a pretty chunky book. It's basically a series set in this medieval type world, and there was a war between humans and the giants years ago. The giants disappear, but then presently they have decided to come back, and of course there's no description in the back. But anyway, and you have several different characters, and their whole, they all get caught up in the middle of this war, and Between these two nations and the giants, and just I am not very good at summarizing epic fantasies. I love them, but I'm not good at summarizing. So this is book 2, Valor, and then this is book 3, Ruin, and then there is a 4th book, which is called Wrath. So maybe I'll get lucky and it will be there at the bookstore. If not, then one day I will have to get that one as well from online, or maybe put it on my wish list. Actually, I think it is on my wish list. I don't know. I have to double check. Actually, it might not, because I don't remember seeing it on there. But anyway, so I love you, Terry. Thank you for this, which I've already thanked you via phone conversation, but I'm thanking you again. Okay, so those are from Terry, the cute hat, and then the books. Okay, so last for not least as far as gifts goes, because I also am going to show you some books I treated myself to. But as far as one more around here somewhere. I believe there's one more book. I have to look for it. Oh, here's. So I guess my sister was kind of intrigued by some mysteries for me. So first let me show you. So I'm a fan of Julie Andrews, although I'm ashamed to admit I've only seen a few of her works. Like, I have seen her version of Oscar Rogers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, the black and white movie. And then Mary Poppins, Sound of Music. I will watch that on repeat. I've seen some of her voice work, like she voices the mother of, what is his name? Just on the guy on the character in Despicable Me. It's a G word. His name starts with a G, I believe. She plays the voice of his mom. And then the voice of the Queen, Fiona's mother, in the Shrek franchise. And I am talking, of course, Julie Andrews. And this is the second part 2 of her sequel to her first autobiography, or memoir. Not biography, memoir. About the first one being about the early years of her career, and talks about her life growing up during World War II. And during the London and surviving the London Blitz. So we get a lot of her Broadway career, and then this one is about her life in Hollywood. She also writes children's books as well, if you guys are interested. Like, one of her books is called Mandy, about this little orphan girl after climbing a fence over to another yard, she discovered a secret little cottage that she proceeds to fix up, and then someone starts leaving her little notes in the cottage. And then she writes, I think she writes other children's books as well with her daughter. And some of them are actually inspired by her. Some of them have main characters that are inspired by her own granddaughter. So, but I'm a fan of hers. I just haven't seen all of her work. I would love to see like Victoria Victor. I think that's what it's called. I'd love to see that one. But, yep. So this is her sequel memoir. And actually, I was very surprised because it had just come out. I remember I read that back in May 2019, or it might have been 2018. But I read that, and at the time I was thinking, I would love a sequel for this, because I want it, or at least I would want a book where it talks about like Sound of Music and Mary Poppins, particularly Sound of Music, because like I said, it's one of my favorite musicals that I will watch on repeat. And I really want to know, because on the copy of the DVD that I have, both because I've had 2 copies of the DVD. I've had one that was an used copy, and then one that was a collector's, and now I have the collector's edition. And the used one I ended up giving to my sister. I don't know if she still has it or not. I'm assuming so. I hope she still has it. But that one, though, on those DVDs and the special features, they do talk about behind the scenes stuff. And I've seen interviews, like I saw an Oprah interview where they had the whole cast together for the first time in years. I saw that one. And of course, I think Mary Poppins had a special edition recently come out. At least a few years ago, a special edition came out. And it was an interview with her and Dick Van Dyke. But since then, I've wanted to hear more stories from. And then the other two books. So I guess my sister was, actually these are from my nephews, but of course, being that one of them is 2 and the older one is 4, they couldn't really do the shopping themselves, so my sister bought them. But because she was in the mood for mystery, she saw some mysteries. Maybe they were having a mystery sale or something. But first, Death Comes to Pemberley. This is kind of a sequel that is about where Wickham is murdered, and they are trying to figure out who murdered him. Which, the guy did not have a very nice reputation. He's not a nice guy. He's a bit of a player, so. But it should still be very interesting, and I do like mysteries. I like the mystery genre. I just don't like the detective procedural type mysteries. I find those kind of tedious. I did go through a period where I read the whole series, not the whole series, but the Women Murderers Club series by James Patterson. Just okay, especially since I did recommend that series to someone recently because it was still kind of fun, and plus it's a women-led series, so. And then she got this one, my first Ruth Ware book, so I'm going to give Ruth Ware a try, and I know she has quite I think she's a bit of a backlist. I'm going to try her out, so. And this is actually part of, the author of The Woman in Cabin 10, so she wrote that one. And then, I know she also wrote, what was it called? Something Miss Westerly? Something like that. And I have seen her other books there. I've seen her other books, and I've looked at them. Because I do want to try giving mystery another chance, but I'm just so particular about mystery. This is one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks. And I will keep it in my, I better read this soon because she will probably, before I know it, there will be a movie coming out based on the book. And I did read Big Little Lies. That was one of her, Reese Witherspoon's collection, one of the books that she read, but I couldn't get into that one as much, and it didn't help that it was a really long one, and I guess maybe because I couldn't relate to it, and that, I was a little bit interested in what was going to happen, but then it's like I wasn't interested enough to keep going and read through the whole book, although it was kind of fast. It was a fast read, so if I changed my mind, I probably could have read it. Okay, so on to the books I treated myself with. Okay, so first, before we went to my sister's, I did stop by Gibbons, because, and did end up breaking some of the cash I got. And I got 3 books from Gibbons. Okay, so I got this, The Indigo Girl. This is set during the 1700s. I want to read more about the 1700s. Set in South Carolina. And she is running her family plantation or whatever. And, her family is in danger of losing everything, and she knows the color indigo really sells well. So she goes to the people the slaves that help her run the plantation and do all that hard work and stuff, all the hard labor and work and stuff. She goes to them and tries to find out what their secret is to making the color indigo. and she believes it's kind of the family's saving grace because they're about to lose everything. I did read the back, like I always do, but it takes more than one read of it takes more than just reading the back once for me to be able to explain what happened in this book. Like, I have to hear someone's description of it. And then, on top of that, I got some classics. And I've talked about this before when I talked about what is aesthetically pleasing to me as far as books. And I have said that I like those Barnes & Noble Classics editions, the paperback ones. So I got this one, The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I can't remember what her name is, which booktuber. I think she's a German booktuber. I can't remember her name. But I remember I think she's the one who's constantly talking about this one. And I remember I had a bind-up collection, a small mass-market bind-up collection of some of Oscar Wilde's novellas, including this one. And I read it years ago with my best friend at the time, who I'm still good friends with, Trace, and my sister and myself were doing a book club, and this was the book we chose to read. It was just really the three of us. Actually, it might have been just me and Therese. I don't think my sister joined that one, was part of that one. And we read this book together, and at the time, I was like, oh, it's okay, it's kind of interesting. But now that I've read more classics, and I keep hearing about it from other booktubers, this particular classic, so I think I'm going to check out Picture of Dorian Gray again. And it might help being in a bigger size, as much as I like mass market because it's easier to travel with. Sometimes it's harder to read mass markets with certain types of books. So in case you don't know, most people probably do, it's about this pretty boy named Dorian, and he is basically puffed up by these two gentlemen, and he accidentally makes a deal with the devil, so to speak, metaphorically, to where he can stay young and beautiful forever. But what ends up happening is the portrait that's being painted of him ages. And as he and it just gets worse and worse, especially because with all the bad things he does throughout his life. Like I said, I've been meaning to read this again because I want to refresh my memory of it, and I feel like, and I don't remember it well last time I read it, and so I want to reread it. And the way some of these people talk about it, like that one particular booktuber, I wish I could remember her name. I feel so bad that I can't remember. The way she talks about it makes it even more interested in rereading it again and getting a better. Except it might have been just when I read it that it was just not the best time, because I do think sometimes some books, it just depends on your mood that you're in. And then there's this one. So I don't know much about this. But it sounded really engaging. I think it's a bit of a mystery. Or in a revenge story, kind of like the Count of Monte Cristo, which I need to finish that. And it's also Joseph Conrad, who I have another Joseph Conrad book, I believe, here somewhere, so I'll have to look at my collection. Nostromo? And like I said, the back description made it sound really intriguing and interesting and thrilling, so I decided to buy it. Also, sometimes I just buy these books because there isn't a lot to choose from when I go to Gibbons, and so they are the most interesting. They sound the most interesting. Okay, so there's that, and then here's some other things I treated myself to. Okay, so in my I did show you that one. I pulled down the book Cursed. And I think I got that back in early December, I believe. And I can't remember if I already showed you guys, but I think I already did a little book haul showing you that book. But so anyway, so there is a new independent bookstore in my grandma's hometown, in my grandma's town where she lives. So my mom and I decided while we were waiting for my grandma to get ready for the day, so like her and my mom could run some errands, because my grandma takes a long time to get ready. She gets distracted by doing something. So my mom was like, let's just go and check out this bookstore. So we went in. It's a small bookstore. It doesn't have the biggest selection, but it's cute. It's quaint. It's run by this one woman. And there was a sale there. So I ended up getting 2 books. First, Seafire, which is one that I heard, and I think the sequel to Seafire just came out last year. Or it might have been 2018 when the sequel came out. I don't remember what this book is about, but I remember hearing a lot about it, and hearing it was really good. I probably also heard some not so great reviews either. But I decided to go check it out because it was the only one that really caught my eye. And then I also remember hearing about this one as well on BookTube. The Last Voyage of Poe Blythe. Again, I couldn't really tell you what it's about. I just remember hearing about it and hearing it was pretty good. She's the same, Ali Condé is the same author who wrote the Match series, which I'm not interested in, but that sometimes happens where authors, I don't like to read everything authors write, and so I won't always, I'm more of what is the book about. That's what will interest me. I don't, unless there is an author that always writes about something that I'm interested, like Kate Morton. Her books I'm always interested in her books. She always writes books about things that I'm interested, like she writes historical mysteries. Then yeah, I'll buy her books. I'll always buy her books. Okay, so I'm not gonna show you Cursed because I believe I already got that one. Okay, so and then which I guess, does that mean, I don't know if I showed these to you guys either, but actually I think I did, because I think I got this the same time I got Cursed as well. I don't know, I'm not sure. In case you guys didn't see, I got Cursed. It was either between this one or Guinevere Deception, but I ended up picking this one. Although, from what I'm kind of glad I chose this one, because from what I heard about from a booktuber, that I feel like we're kind of bookish twinsy, so to speak, because a lot of times we seem to like a lot of the same books, and have similar interests. The only thing that she likes that I haven't really gotten into is, I know that she likes Vikings, and she likes reading about like the War of the Roses and all that stuff. And I mean, although I wouldn't mind watching shows about that, like the History Channel, or watching like fictionalized shows about it. It's just it's not my go-to stuff. But most of the time, I think we are pretty bookish twinsies about things. She's a pretty good channel, by the way. Jennifer Brooks. She does a lot of historical fiction. She's but anyway, I don't know if I think I showed you this or not. I don't remember, but this is a YA retelling of the whole Arthur and Merlin legend, but from the point of view of Nimue. Oh yeah, because I think I talked about how Nimue was a character that I was familiar with, because there was the miniseries with starring Sam Neill as Merlin, it's about him growing up in his life, and Nimue is a daughter of a lord and becomes his love interest in that miniseries. But in the Merlin TV series, starring Colin Morgan as Merlin, I can't remember who played Arthur, but it's as if it's kind of a story about Merlin and Arthur as if they grew up as teens together. And that's how they met, a much a teen version of the story. They're not adults in that one, and in that one, no way, as far as I can tell, she only makes an appearance in season 1 as the sorceress. And as I said that time when I first talked about it, I don't know, I'm guessing that's more of the accurate version of Nimoy's character, that she's some sorceress. So what I'm hoping is that they'll go with the whole Merlin Nimue romance. Because I like the idea of someone who's inherently good falling in love with someone that has a bit of a dark side, not as, and kind of on skating the thin line between good and evil, and them falling in love. And I always think those are really engaging plots. But I'm worried that's going to go in the direction of Nimue falls in love with Arthur, but she can't be with him because he's either with, because he's in love with Guinevere, and like he's engaged to Guinevere and stuff like that, so they can't be together. Blah blah blah. It's like, I feel that almost feels a little too predictable for me. I would, like I said, I kind of prefer when she falls in love with Merlin instead. But Jennifer Brooks had talked about the Guinevere deception. And now, I know we all have different opinions, and like I said, just because she doesn't like something, or just because she likes something, doesn't mean I will dislike or like that thing. But by the sound of it, I don't know, because, she described it as very much more like the younger end of YA. With the way it felt, at least it felt to her, so I don't know. So I almost would rather get it if it's at the library, then I'll get that one. Or get the Guinevere, or get it for cheap at Gibbons or something if it's there. The problem is though, there's no guarantee, it's a very slim chance. So like I said, I think I already showed you guys this one, and then I don't know if I showed you guys this too, because I think I got it at the same time. But Skyward, the first, this is a YA series, a space YA series that Brandon Sanderson wrote. The second one just came out. So second one being Starsight. So I decided to go ahead and buy this one and get started, because I've been wanting to get into it, because I really like Brandon Sanderson. I want to get more into it. And then The Merciful Crow. That's the other one, which is the story about all the different groups of people that are represented by birds. Okay, so sorry, I know I probably already talked about that one, but I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, so this next set of stuff is over here. Okay, I'll show those last. So, with this purchase, this was not something my dad ended up buying it for me, because his mom, my grandma, on his side of the family lives in Maryland, so we were visiting her and helping her out. So we were taking her to Walmart to buy some stuff, and I am not very self-aware when it comes to money. It's something I need to work on, and it's always my resolution to work on that and be more responsible with it, and less careless about it, and be aware of how much I'm spending, even though I didn't spend the money, my dad did. So it's a bit pricey. This is one of these things where he just... Okay, so he just was like, I want you to be more aware of how much this stuff was. So first, I get these things. So I did not realize I had been wanting to get the second movie, and the problem is this did not have just the second movie. It was both. It's both movies, but it's the first one I saw, so I grabbed it because I've been wanting to buy it. Which I guess I don't need it, so I guess I'll have to tell my mom at some point. So she'll have to know. I feel really bad because I know that my dad spent a lot of money on me, so it was like I felt. It's like I'm kind of ashamed to tell my mom, but and this one was. So, and then I decided to pick up this one. Aladdin is one of my favorite Disney movies, and this is a special edition of it, and I think this one might have all the Rob Williams stuff on it, because I know that for a while they I don't think they had any of the Robin Williams stuff, interviews and stuff on it because he had a falling out with the Disney company because of what happened with all this movie and stuff. Actually, Lindsay Ellis did a video on it. I remember that I watched. But there are. This is the 4K Ultra HD edition. So there's the Ultra HD video, there's a Blu-ray, and there's a digital copy of the movie. So there's two ways to watch the movie. I mean, there's also like then there's the two ways to watch it. You can either watch the original theatrical version or the sing-along mode version. There's an alternate ending. There's an interview with Scott Weinger, who played the voice of Aladdin. He also played DJ's boyfriend in Full House. You get to watch the, which I love. Maybe this is a nerd thing, I don't know, but I love watching the behind the scenes people, not just behind the scenes, but watching people record animated movies, or movies where they're playing an animated or computer-generated character or something. I love the recording, which I know can be kind of boring for some people, and like, but I just think that's so cool. Or watching the cast read through, like, both when Game of Thrones ended and when Beauty and the Beast came out, the live action one, they had they showed the read. I did see the table read. I love watching table reads. I wish more movies would do that. Show table reads. Genie outtakes and filmmaker commentary and much, much more. I always like it when special features are on. Okay, so last but not least, finally got this. Which, unfortunately, this is not the nice special. That's not the special. But I guess that's only a subscription box edition where they have the images on the pages. But it does have this, which I really like. It has this, and then on the end pages, which I'm glad more hardbacks are doing that, because I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, the reason why I don't like taking dust jackets off is because I don't like it when most hardback books are plain. They don't have anything on it. They just have color on it, but they don't ever have any cool designs on them. I'm glad a lot of people are doing that more. But this is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, if you can't tell, because I know I'm moving the book around a lot. This is the same author who wrote The Night Circus, which this was one of the few times where I read which I'm thinking about doing a video where I talk about all the books that I read and I want to reread that before BookTube, before I even discovered BookTube, or before I joined BookTube. And The Night Circus was one of those books that I got into that I read way before BookTube, before we even moved. So. And it's one I need to reread. I kept it and I'm so glad I did, because I'm going to reread it. Like I said, that's something I need to work on, like not being a little more cautious with my spending. Just because you are capable of spending doesn't mean you can. Okay, these last 4 things I want to show you guys, these last 4 books I want to show you are not gifts. But they are books that my sister is letting me borrow because my sister just doesn't read as much anymore. I know people say that you will make time for reading. That doesn't mean you have no time for it. You just don't make time for it, but it doesn't mean that you don't have time for it. If that makes sense. But I think for my sister, it's just she's 2 little boys. She's married. She has a job. And I think she just lost interest in. Maybe she did have time, but I think she just lost interest in, like, when she does finally can sit down and chill out. I think the last thing she wants to do is concentrate on reading a book. I think she would rather just sit down, eat with some snack on something, or maybe not snack at all. Actually, she probably doesn't even snack. And just watch Netflix. You know, I mean, we even as readers, we watch Netflix. A lot of us readers love watching Netflix. I mean, a lot of our favorite books become movies or TV shows on Netflix, or just regular or TV shows that are on HBO or something. So it's like, you can't fault her for that. So they do have a small library, a lot of nonfiction books there, how-to stuff, and they read a lot of books that have to do with taking care of, like, all the what comes with taking care of kids. But she does still have some books, and a lot of them, I think she said there were books that she probably had to read for school. So get them. Okay. So I don't know if she let me, but she said to go ahead and, so I ended up taking 4 books from their library. So let's see, we have Franny, and it's probably Zooey, but I don't like saying Zooey because I feel like it's a childish word. So I'm calling her Zoe. But this is by J.D. Salinger, the author of Catcher in the Rye. And I know I wasn't that crazy about Catcher in the Rye, but reading it again a couple years later. But I saw my sister at this time and wanted to read another J.D. Salinger book just to see. And it was like Catcher in the Rye was an easy read, and it's just that I just didn't like it because I didn't like the character, and we were mostly hearing him talking about his life and how he feels like everyone's a phony, and how the only real person in the world is his sister, and him whining about his life, and like I just didn't like him. But I mean, this is a completely different novel about a different set of characters, 2 characters actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this out, and maybe I'll like this one better. I don't remember what I did. I don't remember actually what this one is about, though. Like, I'm guessing 2 friends or something. And I also got from her Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I remember I read this in school and I liked it. And then someone was talking about the latest adaptations coming out. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to borrow this from her and reread it, because I remember liking it, and I figured, you know what, if there's an adaptation coming out, then I'm going to go, I want to read the book so I can watch it. And I meant to watch Fahrenheit 451 adaptation, but I never got around to it, so I'll have to, I'll keep an eye on it if it comes on HBO. This is a dystopian, by the way. Like I said, you probably read it in school. I don't remember what it's about. It's it's been a while, so obviously I do need to reread it. But I do remember liking it. And the last 2 are classics. Well, I guess those 2 are, one of them is another book by an author who wrote a book that was considered a classic. That one's not as talked about. And then Brave New World is a modern classic. And here's these 2 American classics. I actually just finished a book by this author, Willa Cather. This is My Antonia, and I have seen this at Gibbons, but I decided, but at the time I didn't want to buy it, so I saw this out. My sister, it turns out that she had it, so I was like, you know what, I'll just borrow it from her. But I don't really know. I do not know what that is. Blank piece of paper. During classic, My Antonia is the unforgettable story of an immigrant woman's life on the hard-scrabble Nebraska plains. Through Jim Burden's affectionate reminiscence of his childhood friend, the free-spirited Antonia Schmierda, a larger, uniquely American portrait emerges, both of community struggle with the unforgiving terrain of a woman who, amid great hardship, stands as a timeless inspiration. Now, the other one I read by her was Oh Pioneers, which also is the main character is a woman who inherits. Let me show that to you. It's also one of those Barnes and Noble classics. She inherits because she's the only one who has the skills to managing the land. So their father, when he's dying, he gives her, in his will, he makes her the caretaker of the land, the manager of the land. But her brothers aren't so keen on that. They don't agree with how she's running things. And it's kind of how she gives up a lot of her personal life and her ability to, get married and all that, just so that she can be a good farmer and take care of their land. And it's also set in Nebraska. And this one's pretty good. It's kind of sad, a little bittersweet. It's not that long. It's pretty short. So it's a little bit longer. Looks like. And they're both set in Nebraska. Apparently, I guess that's where the author grew up. This one's pretty good. I don't know. I'll have to find out about My Antonia, how that one is. So now I have 2 books by this author I'll be reading. And then the last book I want to show you is House of Mirth by Edith Wharton. And as you guys know, I've kind of gone to Edith Wharton recently. I've read some of her novellas. And I ended up buying Age of Innocence and a really fancy edition, and my sister had this one. And I wasn't sure. I thought she might have had it, but I couldn't remember. So when I was down, because we are down in the basement where those books are located, so I went down there, and I spotted this one. And it turns out that she did have it. And it sounds like it's about a New York socialite. So, and the fact that this was an used comic, I'm guessing it was bought at school for school. So, she probably read in college or in high school. Well, although the used stickers remind me of like a college used. So, I guess she decided to buy it, which is funny because when my mom and I got my books for the British literature class I was taking, we decided we're not gonna buy them. We're just gonna borrow them. It's kind of funny that she. But then, I guess that she, because she was by herself. She went to university, so it was like she just bought it. She just decided to buy it. And with me, I was taking these classes at a community college, so my mom was there to make sure I made smart decisions when it came to. Okay, so that is it. That is my Christmas haul. And I will do another video. I probably will film another video tomorrow. I don't know what it's gonna be. Probably an update my reading and talk a little bit more about Oh Pioneers, because I just finished that. But what I've decided I'm gonna do for. I'm just gonna go week by week with my reading. But I will talk about that when I film tomorrow during filming of tomorrow's video, and that I'll upload tomorrow. So I hope you guys like this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you have not already and you like this video. And if you guys want, feel free to share what you got for Christmas in the comments below. And I hope you're enjoying your reading in this new year. And I will talk to y'all later. Okay, bye!